Howdy, welcome to the presentation for Global Education Oregon. My name is Jane Teely and I am the rep for GEO. I am based in Austin, Texas, and even though I work for the University of Oregon. So just some housekeeping. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. The things we'll cover today are just a brief overview of GEO, a little bit about our centers around the world. We call our virtual programming GEO Elements. And of course, everyone always needs to know how to pay for these things. So we'll cover finances a little bit, and then just further resources if you have any questions. And then finally, all of my contact information. So a little bit about GEO. Global Education Oregon is based at the University of Oregon. So we are a provider program, and we are also the study abroad office on campus. So we have travel-based programs, and we have virtual programs now in the age of COVID. so our travel-based programs are open to any currently enrolled degree-seeking students. Some of our programs are open to graduate students in addition to undergraduate students. All are credit bearing, since we are also a large public institution, much like TAMU. So our virtual programming is a lot less restricted. It's not credit bearing, and it's not restricted to degree seeking students, and it's pretty flexible. So you don't necessarily have to commit to a stringent time frame with it. We have centers around the world, and we actually have, I think we operate now in 36 countries, but the centers that we have are located in Siena, Italy, Segovia, Spain, Oviedo, Spain, and London, England. And what separates a GEO center from our other program locations is that at centers, we have year-round on-site staff that are U of O employees. So those staff members can help give you support on site. They help you with everything from start to finish, meeting you at the airport and then going from there. So we have very all-inclusive programming at our centers. And a little bit about our centers. So our first center is Segovia, Spain. Segovia, if you're not familiar, is about 30 minutes outside of Madrid. So it's a nice small town. It's great for language acquisition and learning. All of our programs, I should say, are very small. We tend to, even though we are a large public university, we tend to keep our programming very small. And I always tell students that if you want to be anonymous on a program, this is not the program for you, because we are very hands-on, we are very immersive, and we are very, very much about the hands-on experience for students. So we tend to have small classes. We will customize internships for you at any of our center locations. Part of that, like in Segovia, for example, we jokingly call our site director there the unofficial mayor of town. You can't walk 2 feet without someone saying, "Hey, Marianne." So an extension of that is that we are able to develop internships if you have an interest in that. All of our students in Segovia stay in homestay families, and they include all meals on the program. So this is a great value program as well if you are looking for something that is better for your budget. Programs there include Spanish language and culture that is run summer and both semesters. We have service learning in Segovia and Fez. And you intern with the Red Cross in Spain, and then you work with the Red Crescent organization in Fez. So it's a great comparative program if you want to go into the nonprofit world. We also have advertising and public relations during the summer. So our center in London, England has over 20 programs. It's by far our biggest center. It's located in the academic corridor in London, so very central London by the British Museum, basically. And we run a lot of liberal arts programming out of this site. So for those of you today who are arts, architecture, humanities majors, this is a great site for you. We have a lot of options here. So our liberal arts in London semester program with an internship is one of our most popular programs with partners. And our internship placements there are really flexible. As a former history major, I would say this is a great program if you are looking to do like applied history, if you want to do museum studies, anything like that. We've had journalism majors who end up, or creative writing majors who end up working with a local magazine or a publication to produce some work. So it's a great location if you are a liberal arts major. It's open to all majors, don't get me wrong, but it does definitely attract English majors, history majors, poli-sci, that kind of thing. We also have a gender, race, and class in London semester that's incredibly popular. So if you are interested in that program, I do advise applying early. Our journalism in London program is very popular as well. So something that sets our London programming apart is that we offer homestays. And on certain programs, homestays are part of the program fee. So, I mean, all housing is part of all of our program fees. We don't have separate program fees for housing. However, like the gender, race, and class program is a homestay program. That is your housing because that's kind of part of the program, is getting to know a local family and culture that way. So the center in Oviedo, Spain, for those who are not familiar, Oviedo is in northern Spain near the Portuguese border. It's about 20 minutes from the beach. so it's a very popular summer destination for many students. Our most popular program there is Spanish for healthcare professionals. We also get quite a few Maymester students. So if you are needing to do language at any level, we offer all levels in Oviedo at the Maymester time. You can do intensive Spanish language for beginners, intermediate, or advanced. And if you are a STEAM person and you're going into healthcare, I will say the healthcare professionals program is limited to 15 students only. So that's also kind of an apply early situation. Our Hispanic Heritage program, I highly recommend if you, like many Texans, are perhaps a native Spanish speaker, but need to work on your writing skills. That's a great program to explore that. So our center in Siena, Italy is also a very humanities friendly center. I would say a majority of our programs that are run there would qualify for students of any majors, any major under the liberal arts umbrella. We especially have a great studio art program there. And it's actually conducted in our center. Our center there is right in the middle of town, right across from the weekly big market. And it's an old villa and it's gorgeous. It's got original frescoes from, I want to say, the 1700s, could be earlier. And it's really stunning. And we've kept everything intact that we possibly could. So it's a great kind of venture back in time. So our virtual programming we call GEO Elements, and what's available with that is virtual homestays in Spain, Mexico, Argentina, or Italy, virtual language tutoring in any of those sites, and virtual language partners. So if you want to chat with a fellow college student in Spain or Italy and work on your language skills, that is an option. These are all non-credit bearing and they're quite flexible. And we've tried to keep them at a very affordable price point. So that way you can globalize your learning in an easy way, quite frankly, and get to know people around the globe. We have quite a few people who are engaging in this in hopes that they can travel in the summer and study abroad in person at some of these sites and potentially even stay with their virtual homestay. So take it from virtual to real. So we'll see. For finances, we are also a large public institution, so accessibility is very important to us, and we do try to keep all of our programs at a price point that all of our students could participate. And so it means that for many of our partner students, they are very accessible price points as well. I'm an Aggie, so I know what it costs to go to A&M, and our programs are comparable, so you won't have too much sticker shock there. We are very inclusive as well on our programming, and we're very upfront about everything that we include. But like, as I had mentioned with Segovia, for example, we include every single meal in your homestay. So, you know, that there are great ways to find programs that will save you money from any hidden expenses, if you will. And all of our programs also include excursions. I don't know in a post-COVID world what those are going to necessarily look like because quite a few travel restrictions still exist. So, for example, our London students typically go to Scotland as part of an excursion. I don't know how much movement will be possible then, but what we would do is a more elaborate in-country excursion. So we wouldn't eliminate excursions, we would just change the locations, if that makes sense. Since all of our programs are credit bearing, they're also all eligible for federal financial aid. So our grants and scholarships, A&M is currently in the affiliation process. We should have that done in a few months. So the first 5 A&M students who go with us will receive a 20% discount on any program. So for our summer programs, for example, you know, that'll typically be like $1,000 or so. For a semester program, that'll be between $2,000 and $4,000, depending upon the program. We also have our GEO Ambassador Scholarship. That is $1,000, and we just ask that you come back and like help at the fair or share your blog or share your Instagram account. It's pretty low key. And then we have every spring, it's spring only, and it's only at our 4 GEO centers. We have a $3,000 to $5,000 GEO Center scholarship. And the nice thing about this is it could make Spain, for example, like an $8,000 semester if you get the $5,000. So, so definitely apply for that if you are interested in any of those locations. So we have quite a few. If you know anything about the University of Oregon, we are generally very strong in business, environmental programs like environmental sciences, sustainability, that kind of stuff. We're also very strong in arts and architecture. So we have quite a few programs for all of you who are majors. So I just pulled out a few that I thought might appeal to A&M students. So, and we're also known for sports. And I know A&M's known for sports too, but U of O is kind of the home of Nike. So, so we have a lot of sports business and branding programs, design programs, that kind of thing. So one of the things that I thought might appeal to A&M students is our sports business strategy in the English Premier League football. So normally when this is done on site, you actually get to go to, I think it's, well, I don't know what football team it is. It's one of the big ones, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't follow. So, so you normally go to the stadium for multiple times while you're there. Since that's not possible, we are running it remotely this year. So this is a remote program that I think is set to start Monday. But we run this program every year. So when it's on site, it tends to be a 3-week program, and it's very immersive. So Business for a Better World, social entrepreneurship. This is a great program if you are hoping to go into business, but you want to make sure that you are being a good citizen of the world in the process. It's a very hands-on program as well, and lots of touring around London and London businesses. We also have global sports business strategy in the Netherlands and Germany and UK. This is a multi-country travel program. So if you are looking to start a career in sports business, or that's the field you want to go into, this is a great program to kind of dip your toe in. We also have one of our most popular, surprise, surprise, programs, wine marketing in Siena. So this program is project-based, and you are divided into teams and assigned to local wineries, and you produce a marketing campaign for the local winery. And it's a great program if that's what you want to go into, if you want to go into branding and marketing, especially in a food-related business. We've had quite a few students end up in the field with this project, because it's a great it's a great way to showcase your abilities when you're in an interview. We also have multiple certificates in global business. These are all currently quarter programs that are going to be extended to be semester student friendly. So you can study in 3 different areas of specialization: journalism and media, economics and political science, or theater arts and humanities. So if you are a liberal arts major but want some business skills, these are great ways to acquire those. And then quite a few other programs of ours include business coursework, pretty substantially, I might add. So we have global business in London with an internship, global economics in London with an internship. If you want to go to Tel Aviv, there are quite a few business tracks there. Same with University of the Sunshine Coast. University of the Sunshine Coast, you can even get a diploma if you stay for an entire year. And that's a very price accessible university as well. It's about 12 grand for a semester. And then Italian language and culture in Siena has quite a few economics courses, interestingly enough. So some of our arts programming, we have quite an array of arts programming, and this isn't even all of it. The University of Oregon is well known for their arts and music programming. So we have quite a few faculty-led programs that are open to students from all universities. And then, of course, at our Siena Center, we run a ton of arts programming out of there. So some I would point out that are unusual: fibers in Florence, if you want to go into textiles. The music, arts, and culture in London, you go to so many events in this program. So if you want to work in arts management, or you're interested in working for a nonprofit that focuses on the arts, I would highly recommend that program. Obviously, the liberal arts in London with an internship applies to arts majors as well. Some of our more popular programs that are not necessarily center-based are the Art, Identity, and Representation in Senegal and France. It actually was one of our most popular online programs this summer, and it will be back in person next year, or hopefully. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but I hope. We all hope. We also have our cinema studies in Dublin program that if you want to go into film and film production, it's a great program for that. There's 2 different tracks. There's a writing track and a production track. And it culminates in going to the biggest film festival in Ireland at the end of the program is how it ends. So it's a great happy send off to the program. And then studio art in Athens. We have studio art at our Siena Center, but we also have it during the summer in Athens if you would prefer to go to Greece instead of Italy. So some architecture programs that we have Landscape and Heritage in China. And this is a you travel kind of all over China and get to see various landscape architecture representations. Architecture in Rome is a lot like it sounds. All the architecture programs involve a lot of experiential education. You're out and about in the cities because those are your classrooms. Urban design in Barcelona, same thing. I included the history of world architecture because that was a remote, our remote learning this summer, we called it No Passport Needed. And we will likely continue quite a bit of it for next summer. So if, you know, even if travel resumes this summer, if you're not comfortable with traveling, there will be options available to you. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there for that. And then like I said, we have tons of humanities programs. I highly, highly recommend going to our programs page and utilizing the search engine because you can search by major and by course interest. You can also search by graduate or undergraduate. Definitely toggle to non-University of Oregon student because that will show you any of the programs that you can go on. So just kind of a random smattering that might work for some of y'all. Politics in London. What a cool time to look at that, by the way, considering that, you know, Scotland may decide to go in the very near future. So politics in London. French immersion in Angers, if you are majoring in French, this is a great program for immersion. You have a homestay. It's a very accessible price point if finances are of concern to you. I think it's about $11,000 for a semester, and that's very inclusive. So I would highly recommend, and they're doing a really good job with their COVID protocols. So if you are an apprehensive traveler and, you know, with everything that's going on in the world, which is completely understandable, that's a good location where they are following all the protocols. London as well, to be honest. We do have, I probably should have said this much earlier, we do have a dedicated health and safety manager in our office, and he is evaluating every single program site, and he has to sign off on a site before we will let students go back to it. So so we are being pretty intense about our protocols. Archaeology in Palau, this is a great program that is limited to 12 students. So if you are interested, definitely apply early. It's a really unique program. It does include your group flight to Palau, and it includes a big conference that you attend at the end, but you get to dig and you live in a hotel and it's totally the program I want to go on that we have. Hispanic Heritage in Oviedo, I had mentioned briefly before, but if you are of Hispanic heritage, it's a really unique opportunity to explore that. One of our remote things that we are offering is the Global Leadership Challenge. So Global Leadership Challenge is something we've always run on the University of Oregon campus. Sorry, thunderstorm. And this year we made the Global Leadership Challenge a remote opportunity. So Global Leadership Challenge, it has historically been very global. Like we have more more international students than US students participate in the program traditionally. And you are given a business, or sometimes it's the city of Eugene, honestly, or a nonprofit. Your group is given a challenge. One of the ones this summer was to reduce packaging waste for a local business. And then you tackle that challenge as a group and present that to the business. So it's great project-based learning. It's about $400. It'll be 4 to 6 weeks in the fall and spring. And if you need a resume builder, this is a great way to do that, because you can definitely present tangible results in an interview if you're ever asked like what kind of problem you were given that you solved for a business. So I'd encourage you to take a look. So our GEO resources, this is just our general remote advising desk. If you have Microsoft Teams, you can contact geoinfo@uorg.edu. That's the general phone number. And then my name is Jane Teely. You're welcome to email me. You're also welcome to text anytime. So have a great day, and thank you for joining us.